Avatar the Last Airbender has to be my favorite childhood show. Watching it today as an adult all these years later, I still love and admire just how incredible the writing for this show is. How could you not love Avatar the Last Airbender? I mean, the impeccable wit, the compelling drama, amazing story, and the jaw-dropping action scenes make for endless hours of fun. But one aspect of this show that is my favorite has to be the characters. Each character has their own specific personality that sets them apart from the others. Some of my favorites are Sokka, the funny goof that aspires to do great things, Aang is the fun-loving child with the responsibility of an adult, and who could possibly forget the sarcastic rebel, Toph. However, the biggest aspect of these characters that makes them so great is not just their personality, but the change that these characters go through throughout the series. But you gotta wonder, as an aspiring writer, how do I exactly implement character change? There is a film critic that I'm a fan of named Film Crit Hulk, who wrote one of the most impactful film reviews I've ever read. He argued that Man of Steel fails at telling its story because it does not answer what Hulk called the 7 questions of narrative drama. Basically, a story needs to answer these 7 questions in order to get across its message effectively. Just Right made a video using the 7 questions to argue that Star Wars The Last Jedi had great writing, and now I would like to give my own take on the subject. I feel as though a better title for these questions would be the 7 questions of character development, because in my opinion these questions better answer how a story changes a character rather than if the story is told efficiently. What I found is that if you take these 7 questions and apply them to any one of Avatar the Last Airbender's core cast, every single one of them answers all 7 questions. We have Aang, who goes from an immature child to a full-fledged avatar. Then there's Sokka, who blossoms from an immature teenager into a heroic leader. However, I think that my favorite character arc in the entire series is Prince Zuko's. In many writing communities, I have occasionally heard Prince Zuko be called the best written character ever. And although I can think of 2 characters off the top of my head that I think are written better than Zuko, I cannot deny how effectively Zuko's character answers the 7 questions. Question 1. What does the character want? What the character wants is the goal that the character envisions for themselves at the beginning of the story. Usually the want is a misguided desire that will only help themselves and no one else. For Prince Zuko, the first want to probably pop into your head is the Avatar. However, Zuko's want runs a little deeper than that. What Zuko truly wants is fatherly approval. Zuko spoke out against a Fire Nation general at a war meeting because the general was about to send Fire Nation troops on a death mission.
The Earth Kingdom defenses are concentrated here. A dangerous battalion of their strongest earthbenders and fiercest warriors. So I am recommending the 41st Division.
But the 41st is entirely new recruits. How do you expect them to defeat a powerful Earth Kingdom battalion?
I don't. They'll be used as a distraction while we mount an attack from the rear. What better to use as bait than fresh meat?
You can't sacrifice an entire division like that! Those soldiers love and defend our nation! How can you betray them?
Because Zuko spoke out against the general, his father burned the side of his face and banished him from the Fire Nation until he can capture the Avatar.
Please, Father! I only had the Fire Nation's best interest at heart! I'm sorry I spoke out of turn!
You will fight for your honor.
I meant you no disrespect. I am your loyal son.
Rise and fight, Prince Zuko.
I won't fight you.
You will learn respect, and suffering will be your teacher. I looked away.
So in Zuko's eyes, the only way to get the approval of his father back is to capture the Avatar and to restore his honor.
Honor.
Question number 2. What does the character need? The character's need is something that they're missing in order to feel whole. The need is something that will make the character feel truly happy and at peace. The problem is that the characters never start off the story knowing exactly what it is that they need. Zuko needs to create his own path in life rather than just doing what other people tell him to do. Question 3. How do these wants and needs contradict each other? Basically, the wants and needs of the character needs to be polar opposites. Well-written character means that the wants and needs cannot both be attained. The characters need to make a decision to pursue one or the other. Zuko wants the approval of his father, but he needs to craft a life for himself. The contradiction here is that in order to get the approval of his father, he would have to go down the path in life that his father has laid out for him. If he does this, he can never live out the life that would truly make him happy. Furthermore, if he embraces his need, then he will never restore his honor. Question number 4. How does the character's wants and needs conflict with the outside world? It's safe to say that the Fire Nation is hated by everyone who is not the Fire Nation. So we have tons of dramatic moments where the world makes Zuko attaining his wants and needs incredibly difficult. Firstly, it's difficult for him to attain his wants because the Avatar is incredibly difficult to capture. Aang slips out of Zuko's grasp a number of times. Also, Zuko loses his crew towards the end of Season 1, making capturing the Avatar all the more difficult. This is not to say that the world is encouraging his need either. In the episode Zuko Alone, he tries to find a path for himself outside of the Fire Nation. He goes to a town and lies about his name, literally giving himself a new identity. Then he attempts to save the village from some earthbenders taking advantage of them. This is when the audience cheers because Zuko's acting towards his need. But then the dream gets shattered because when he's backed into a corner, he's forced to act.
Who are you?
Zuko firebends, revealing his secret identity. Then, even though he saved the town and is polite to them, they reject him because they now know that he's Fire Nation. Question number 5. How do the characters' wants and needs conflict with other characters? This is my favorite question to answer for Zuko. The best way to utilize this section is to have one character pushing Zuko towards their needs and another character enabling their wants. This is where the two most fun characters in the series come into play. Princess Azula is constantly tempting Zuko to indulge in his wants. She constantly rubs into Zuko's face how great her life is because she has the approval of their father. Because she has the approval of their father, she commands scores of firebenders and is able to have a strong hand in the war. Azula is constantly praised as the golden child of the Fire Nation, and she has everything that Zuko wants. On top of all that, Azula just loves to tempt Zuko over to the Fire Nation. She always extends a hand out to him, inviting him to join the throne with their father.
Because I'm a people person.
On the other side is Uncle Iroh. Iroh sees how much Zuko is stressed out about his strained relationship with his father, so Iroh tries to be the father figure that Zuko needs. Iroh sees his entire life as a failure, and he desperately does not want the same thing to happen to Zuko. So he offers a tender hand in helping Zuko relax, but always guides Zuko in the direction that he needs to take in life. In Season 2, Zuko is constantly bouncing back and forth mentally between which side to take. It seems as though Uncle Iroh gets through to him. They settle in Ba Sing Se, they form a tea shop, and their lives seem really good for a while. Then the Avatar shows up and the whole peace of mind thing goes out the window. Iroh forces Zuko to seriously think about his life.
What do you plan to do now that you have found the Avatar's bison? Keep it locked in our new apartment? Should I go put on a pot of tea for him?
First I have to get it out of here.
And then what? You never think these things through. This is exactly what happened when you captured the Avatar at the North Pole. You had him, and then you had nowhere to go.
I would have figured something out.
No! If his friends hadn't found you, you would have frozen to death.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Stop it, Uncle. I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
Then when Azula sees Zuko's moment of weakness, she convinces him to come back to her side. Zuko then embraces his animalistic instinct and succumbs to his primal wants. Question number 6. How does this character change through these conflicts, and how does this resolution affect them? Throughout the first half of Season 3, Zuko goes through a complete identity crisis. After defeating the Avatar, Zuko's honor is restored.
Honor.
And he's welcomed back to the Fire Nation with open arms. He's earned the acceptance of his father and now holds the same power that Azula has had throughout the series. Zuko has achieved everything that he's wanted for years, however, he still feels hollow on the inside. Everything feels wrong, he feels nothing but anger towards himself, and he just doesn't understand why. This is when he has one final conversation with Iroh in the prison, and his whole life gets put into perspective. Zuko finally understands that he's not following a path in life that will make him happy. He outwardly rejects his father.
For so long, all I wanted was for you to love me, to accept me. I thought it was my honor that I wanted, but really, I was just trying to please you. You, my father, who banished me just for talking out of turn. Growing up, we were taught that the Fire Nation was the greatest civilization in history, and somehow, the war was our way of sharing our greatness with the rest of the world. What an amazing lie that was. The people of the world are terrified by the Fire Nation. They don't see our greatness. They hate us, and we deserve it. We've created an era of fear in the world, and if we don't want the world to destroy itself, we need to replace it with an era of peace and kindness.
Then he leaves the Fire Nation to pursue a life that he has chosen for himself, and not the life that his father laid out for him.
I've come to an even more important decision. I'm going to join the Avatar, and I'm going to help him defeat you.
Question number 7. What impact does the change have on everyone else? Team Avatar is not strong enough to take out the Fire Nation because they have nobody to teach Aang firebending. This is the perfect role for Zuko to fill. He joins Team Avatar and helps every member find something that they need. Zuko helps Sokka get back Suki, he helps Katara find the man who killed their mother, and he teaches Aang how to firebend. This gives Team Avatar the strength necessary to take down the Fire Lord and to win the war. Then Zuko takes the throne as Fire Lord and intends to lead the world towards peace.
All hail Fire Lord Zuko!
By answering these 7 questions, you can make your character feel as if they have fully gone through a natural change throughout the story. In Avatar, Zuko goes from being an emotionally uncontrollable zealot to a stoic, level-headed leader. You can even take any members of Avatar's main cast and apply these 7 questions to them. It can be a lot of fun to test your favorite characters with these 7 questions to see if they are developed enough throughout the story. Also, if you want to write a well-developed character, it's a really good idea to type all these out for each character before you even start your story. I took this lesson as well as many others in my brand new book, Dogs Chasing Squirrels. I just published this book this month after 2 years of incredible hard work. Dogs Chasing Squirrels follows the story of Kayla Brooks and her group of 6 friends all trying to survive in an anarchist world. When they realize that they don't have enough supplies to last them through the upcoming winter, they devise a plan to rob a much larger group than their own. As they execute their plan, they soon realize that one thing is going wrong after another, and that it might not be as easy as they had originally thought. If that sounds like something you would like, Dogs Chasing Squirrels is available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. Also, the first chapter is available completely free on Amazon, so if you would like to check it out, links are always in the description. I publish new videos every other week, so you could subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.